Let's talk about pain. Yeah, I know, it's a fact of life, everyone gets a piece. But what if most people are dealing with the wrong kind of pain? What if I told you that real control, real strength, comes from actually choosing your pain? That's what we're digging into here. Just let that sit for a second. What if your suffering wasn't just some random cosmic tax for being alive? What if it was a tool, a weapon even, that you could actually aim? You know, the idea that you can choose your struggle? Well, that's the line in the sand between being a victim of your life and being the master of it. All right, let's get one thing straight right out of the gate. You don't get to opt out of pain. It's not a subscription you can cancel. There is no life without it. It's as real and as fundamental as gravity. And trying to dodge it, it's not just a waste of time. It's a guaranteed way to make everything so much worse. So if we can't escape it, we've got to face it. We have to engage with it. Because here's the thing. Not all pain is the same. There's a whole universe of difference between the pain that builds you up and the pain that just breaks you down. And the switch that flips between them, that's your choice. And that puts you at a crossroads. Not just once in a while, but every single day. Whether you realize it or not, you are actively choosing between two different kinds of pain. Two very different paths, and believe me, they lead to two completely different places. So here it is. This is the fundamental choice. On one side, you've got chosen pain. That's the burn of discipline, right? The discomfort of pushing your own limits, of having that really difficult conversation, of staring at a blank screen until the words finally come out. It's on purpose. Then on the other side, you've got imposed pain. And this is the pain of doing nothing. It's the suffering that ambushes you down the road because you sidestep the work. It's the chaos of a life just left to chance. One is the pain of the architect, the other is the pain of the victim. And this choice isn't some abstract idea. It shows up everywhere in your life. You can choose the pain of a strict budget now, or you can have the pain of crushing debt imposed on you later. You can choose the pain of an honest, awkward conversation, or suffer the imposed pain of a toxic relationship that just blows up in your face. The formula is brutally simple. You either volunteer for a little controlled discomfort now, or life will draft you for an overwhelming, chaotic suffering later on. Now, the most seductive lie you'll ever hear is that there's a third option, doing nothing. You know, the path of least resistance. But that's just an illusion. Doing nothing is actually the most decisive choice you can make. It's a direct vote for the second option. It is a one-way ticket to the most toxic, corrosive pain there is, the pain of regret. And this imposed pain, it has a very distinct feel, doesn't it? It's chaotic. It hits you out of nowhere, usually at the worst possible time. It's the direct result of your own inaction, your own avoidance. It feeds that victim mindset, where it feels like life is just a series of bad things happening to you. And worst of all, it's the hollow ache of what could have been.
But that other path, the one where you choose your burden, that's not about loving pain for pain's sake. It's about strategy. Voluntarily picking up a heavy weight is the only way to build muscle. It's the ultimate power move because it changes you from a pawn on the chessboard to the player that's actually moving the pieces.
So why is this chosen pain so much better? Well, for starters, it has a purpose. It's transformative. It literally forges you into somebody stronger, somebody new. It's also temporary. Every workout ends, every tough project gets finished. And most importantly, it keeps you in the driver's seat as the architect of your life, not a member of the demolition crew. It gives your struggle meaning. You know, the writer Nassim Nicholas Taleb just boiled this whole idea down into one perfect, brutal sentence. If you don't voluntarily pick up a burden, life will assign you a heavier one. Just let that land for a second. It's a warning, but it's also a promise. You either pick your battle or life is going to pick a war for you. So what's the playbook? How do you actually do this? Well, it's pretty simple, but it's not easy. First, you declare war on procrastination. Choose the controlled pain of focus now to escape the wild, heart-pounding panic of a deadline later. Second, you run towards the fire. You confront your challenges today while you can still handle them, before they grow into monsters that you can't defeat. And third, you own your future. You embrace the discomfort of building something for yourself so you're never, ever at the mercy of a system you don't control.
So it all comes down to this. One simple, non-negotiable truth. You are going to suffer. That part's not up for debate. The only real choice you get to make is which kind. And don't kid yourself. Staying stuck where you are, that's hard. Living with the ghost of who you could have been, with that constant nagging what if, that is its own special kind of difficult. And on the other hand, actually building a better life, that's hard too. Facing that resistance every single day, doing the work when nobody's watching, forging yourself into the person you want to become, yeah, that's definitely hard. They're both hard, but one hard leads to a life filled with regret and powerlessness. The other hard leads to a life of growth and strength. They are not the same thing, so you have to choose your heart.